Hey guys, this is Adam Lane with PocketNow.com. Next up, we're going to do a little hardware tour of the Lumia 710 from Nokia on T-Mobile. But we're also going to do a little comparison with the HTC Radar 4G, since that's a pretty comparable device. First off, be sure to check out the link in the description for more details on all the specifications on the Nokia Lumia 710. And we're just going to take a little tour around the device. So there's our screen. Up here we have a sensor that is not a front-facing camera. There's your speaker, a Nokia logo. And down here we have the back Windows key and search button. It's all one piece of plastic, but it's we can press different sides of it. And this is a physical button. This is not your normal capacitive buttons, which are cheaper to make and smoother to the touch and easier to touch, easier to activate. But there's a good thing about this. If you're playing a game, you don't accidentally press your buttons over here. You really have to press them because they are plastic buttons. And there's your T-Mobile logo and the microphone, a little slit right there. On the bottom we don't have anything except for a lanyard hole. This is for people that like to attach dangly things or a little loop to keep track of it. So we got that there. Over here we have nothing but a little fingernail slot. That's to get the back battery off, battery cover rather. At the top we have our micro USB port, a 3.5mm headset jack, and the power button. Over here we have the volume controls and the camera button. The camera button is kind of flush with the device, so you can see it's hard to feel. You gotta find it before you can press it. But the volume buttons have little ledges there, which make them pretty easy to feel. Kind of wish the camera button was easier to feel for while you're holding it in your pocket, so you can go straight to the camera by holding it down like that. Okay. On the back we have our 5-megapixel camera and an LED flash, Nokia logo again, and just this little tiny slit is the speaker. This is not really a speaker, it's just decoration. And there's your Nokia 710 label. And if you put your finger over the speaker, it definitely gets muffled real easily. Now this back is a nice soft matte feel to it. And in the hand it actually feels very ergonomic. It really feels nice. You see these little ledges there? Those fit really nicely with your fingers. See where my thumb and fingers are? It's a really nice feel to it. Okay, let's open this up. Now to open it, you gotta get your finger in there and push it pretty hard. There we go. So there's our battery. This is 1300 milliamp hours. And it's very thin. That's pretty nice. And there's your micro SIM card slot. It's kind of difficult to get it out, but okay, I'm just gonna leave it in there. Okay, and one of the cool things about this device is these backs. You can replace them and get different colors, white, yellow, pink, blue. So if you're one of those people that really likes, the color of your phone to be something personal, you will eventually be able to buy different backs for this. Alright, you gotta snap it back in place. Now since this device is on T-Mobile for only $50, but sometimes you can get it for free, we're also going to compare it to another pretty budget-friendly device on T-Mobile, the HTC Radar 4G. So here's your size comparison. They're pretty close. The Radar is a little bit thinner. And of course the Radar is a metal case, non-removable battery, and capacitive buttons there. And the radar also has a front-facing camera, so you can see the differences there. But let's also look at some of the benchmarks for the screen. Okay, so what is the screen like on the Lumia 710? This actually has a polarizing film as a layer under there, which is supposed to make the blacks much blacker and also reduce glare a little bit. So here's a color ramp, and you can see the differences there. This one seems a little bit more washed out. And let's go back to a different style. Let's look at the gradients. You can see a different hue here. This one seems a little cooler. Maybe there's a little bit of green in there. And let's do these colors. So both of these we see a lot of banding, but we definitely have better blacks over there. And let's look at the blacks. And this one actually we do see a little more glare. So the polarizing may be helping that on the Nokia. And lastly, let's look at color shifting from different angles. You can see the colors are actually different already. And the Nokia seems to change as we tilt it. Probably has something to do with the polarizing film. Now, you probably also want to know how that compares to a really good screen like the Samsung Focus S. So again, we're seeing a little bit different shade of color there. And you can see how it changes as we tilt. But the color ramps are pretty close. Looking pretty good there. And there's your blacks. Okay, now for speed, this is a 1.4 gigahertz processor. And actually in the speed test it does pretty well. Gets the score in the 90s on WP Bench, which is pretty nice. So we're not talking a slow device, even though it's very inexpensive. So that's our quick look at the Nokia Lumia 710 hardware. Stay tuned for more on the software side of things. That's it for now.